Hi guys. Hello, how's it going? It's Miyoko from Japan. Welcome back to my channel. I am live from Fukuoka Prefecture, Japan. How are you guys doing? I hope some of you are awake still. It's 4 in the afternoon here in Japan. Ah, such a bad streamer I am, and I'm speaking like Yoda. Wait for me. Gonna share this on my Twitter. I mean, X. Okay. Ooh. Okay. My stomach hurts so bad, like even right now. So that's why I was late. Like I kept going to the bathroom. TMI. Sorry, but yeah. Anyway, today's newspaper. I'm forgetting English. Newspaper. My husband got me this. It's what are they talking? I didn't have the time to check it out. So Maritime Corporation, Japan, Indonesia. Indonesia is like Indonesia. How do you pronounce that? Indonesia, Indonesia, Indonesia. Is it Nesia or Nesia? Huh? Indonesia. Indonesia. Oh, hello, Yokohime. I like the sound of that. Thank you. Indonesia. Yeah, Yoko-san, どうですか? I'm okay. My stomach hurts so bad, but I hope I can do this live stream. Oh, okay. So Indonesia and Japan. We are promoting a cooperation in maritime, like in the ocean. So that's good. So basically, our prime minister and their president met, and they're talking about East and South China Sea. You know how China is, building bases and so on. So, oh, super chat. I can use this to everything. Yok is back. Yok tax. Bravo. You're so good at rhyming. It is so cool. Hello, how are you? I'm okay, doing okay. Sorry for this delayed live stream. I'm in Indonesia. Like Eurasia? Indonesia? Asia? Eurasia is Eurasia, right? So confusing. But yeah, thank you so much for your super chat, Berta. It really helps me. Thank you. I hope you liked my song. I made a song. Stupid song. But I had to, so as I said before, I worked on this project. My political friend, he's filming a movie, and he asked me to make a song. Like he wrote the lyrics. He asked me to, it was a job. He offered a job for me to make a song to it, and sing it too. And I did it, and he really liked it. And he encouraged me to get back to music. Like it doesn't have to be politics, just sing or make music. And I'm like, yeah, I can easily do that. Yeah, I make weird songs, but at least what I can tell you is that I'm actually talented by most singers today. Like not singers, like musicians, those who compose music. So bad. It's not even music. It's just beeping sound, of electronics. And I'm pretty sure that they don't understand music, like, yeah. And that was my song was, it was so great because one of you actually like understood my intention. Like I realized that my expression was good enough for the person to understand or like perceive my song like that. That he or she said that it's like basically like in sync or like 90s vibe to it, and it was music, like a different type of music from compared to the past. And I do that because it's like a rebellion, because I really dislike the music today. It's not even music. In Japanese, music is written as enjoy sounds. And the music you hear is not like amusing. Some people are so addicted to certain stimulus, and they are, it's not even music, it's just stimulating some points in human brains and so on. And so anyway, thank you for your positive feedback too, because I know that I'm not a good singer, but I tried. I'm like literally, when I was recording, I was searching for YouTube videos explaining how to sing better. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try this way now. And then I repeat that anyway. Eurasia? Really? Eurasia, okay. I'm eating oatmeal right now, Yoko and Chai. Wait, are you not in the States? Where are you from? Anytime is good for me. I work overnight at restaurant meal prepping for the next day. Wow! What kind of restaurant? Hi, Yoko, get better soon. Thank you. I want to. I have bad vision. I thought you said you are a cat me. No, run! Stimuli. Thank you, stimuli. Okay. Oh, so it's good that Japan and not Eurasia, Japan and Indonesia are working together to restrain China, kick them out, and also it is talking about flood. Because our water, like a natural disaster of water, suigai. How do you say suigai in English? There are so many words that I don't know or I easily forget. Suigai, flood damage. Okay. Flood damage. So they're saying that you have to depict like the regions, that can be dangerous for flood damage. So they're creating a map right now, as you can see, for example. So that's interesting that in America right now, California fires are so crazy. It's still going. Like, did it stop? It's being on the news here as well, and people here are shocked to see that as well. But what's interesting for me personally is that the difference in like nature that you guys like in America in certain areas, like it's the same for Australia or Europe as well. I think that the air is so dry and you get fire, but over here in Japan it's so humid and it's never dry. It's kind of dry in winter, and there are some fire cases happening as well, but not like America, And so like over here, we usually have like earthquakes and flood, right? Or heavy rain. But over there, you guys have fire. And it's like so weird. What we suffer from is like water, just washing away everything. And over there, it's different. And it's so frustrating because we have a lot of water, right, here in Japan, or snow. It's like heavy snow is going on, and I wish I could do something about it, but yeah. But Japanese people, like I think I have shared my like translation with you. Where was that? I wrote that a long time ago. I feel I'm like, I post too much. I post too much on X that I don't know when I did that post. But Japanese people basically know the problems in America, especially those who are active on social media like X. They know, especially those who are on X, they know the problems of Democrats, because in Japan at least, the conservative circle or right-wing circle too, like there are different groups, by the way. It's like severe infighting is happening every day in Japan. They're not the same, so you should never group them together. But yeah. But yeah, like generally, like people on the right side, we know about the problems of Democrats. What's interesting though is that some people are talking about the problems of California, for example, like this LGBT thing, right? Like this was early, but and also I think I translated somewhere. I can't find it. Oh, I should have prepared. But yeah, in Japan though, when our huge earthquake happened in 1995 in Kansai area, and also in 2011, which by Fukushima disaster, Great Eastern earthquake or something in English, Tohoku area. When that happened, so in 1995, it was our ruling party was Socialist Party, and in 2011, it was the Democratic Party. So, yeah, but other disasters happen, of course, too. So it's not really that, but like some, like our spiritual perspective would be that it happens because our deities are mad. It happens, but I really feel sorry for the loss though. What's interesting is that I heard on X, I haven't checked the number by myself, but somebody was pointing out that the damage, like economic damage of California right now is already almost like the same as our aftermath of 2011 earthquake in Tohoku area. So what that means is that it's like rich people live there, right? Like it's so much stuff there, like luxurious stuff. Okay, let's look at our newspaper. I've been thinking about music or like social media so much that I should read newspaper. Newspaper is important. My husband was telling me the other day, my husband is politically engaged too. He has published a book, like he's an author, he's a writer for political magazines online especially, and he's been an activist for over 2 decades, since he was 19. So, but yeah, he was telling me that TV can be really biased, right? But newspaper, at least in Japan, like because what creates the bias on TV shows in Japan is that the news, when they talk about the news, they lay out the facts. At least in Japan, they do that, right? And the news itself isn't that bad, even though, of course, like you can focus on different things, but facts are facts still. Like they're backed by their, like they have to make sure that they are facts, and they do that because if they don't, then they have to face the legal challenges. But so on the news though, the facts are facts. However, often in Japan, when we have like not political, just, current affairs type of news shows, they often have commentators and they are biased, even though they are like, sometimes they have like experts, but often they're just celebrities or just people that are on TV for a job. Like they come as guests or commentators, and they make a stupid comment, but it's, even though they don't have any expertise, or they, even though they cannot think in a neutral way, they make commentary, and people get affected by that. And that's why we believe that our news on news on Japanese TV can be biased, but on the newspaper you don't have commentators here. Sometimes though they have like residents, oh, this resident is talking about this, like talking about it like this and that. But yeah. But thank you. I tagged you in something genuinely jaw-dropping regarding the LA fires. Have a look when you get a chance. Man, it's tempting. I have to see that now if it's digestive enough. The scam Senator Warren, Elizabeth Warren, Aunt Warren. We call her Aunt Warren in Japan, by the way, to make fun of her. Try to pull. What is this? To help, Elizabeth Warren says, to support the communities around LA being devastated by wildfires, can you split a donation between the Los Angeles Fire Department Foundation and the United Way of Greater Los Angeles? 100% of your donation will go directly to these organizations. This community note. This is not a link to charity. This is a link to Democrat fundraising platform. Ooh, they take 3.95% of all transactions. Wow. That is terrible. So she's lying, openly lying here? Or, like, it's supposed to be like a charity, but yeah, we do that here too, so I know what it means. That's awful. I heard about, like, I watched briefly, I watched Fox News earlier a little bit, and it was featuring a story about some people faking donations on GoFundMe, found me or something, or something like that, like fundraising sites. That, yeah, like, because people can't tell, right? But for this, Elizabeth Warren is bad because she wants money for her party, right? Our Japanese Communist Party and so on too, they often stand on a street and collect money, and they're saying like, oh, this is for the earthquake or something. And of course, like, they are using people, so they have to pay for them, so they take the money as fees. They do that too. So that's why I don't I don't do that sort of stuff. I would just directly send money to those who are affected instead of, giving money to some group in between, I do that too. Any comments? Oh, hey everyone, hello. I've seen charities take 19%. Are you serious? California is 48 in the worst taxation index. Worst? 49 is New Jersey, 50 is New York, bottom of the barrel and highly expensive stuff. What do you mean by worst taxation index? Like worst? Like worst is more tax or less tax? Oh, speaking of which, I just remembered something. Just talking about states, my husband shared this. I think this guy is some expert in Japan, but this is a screenshot of of a post. But Trump after I'm trying to translate that. After Freedom Caucus members said, yeah, he was told by Freedom Caucus people, I guess, that if Trump get Canada as 51 for state, the America's state, then the two senators will be taken by the Democratic Party, and then Trump woke up. Canada's population is 40 million, and California is 39 million. So lower house would be, so Canada would take the lower house. What's that word? What's the word? Something. You know what I mean, right? Yeah, so that's interesting. I didn't think about that. Here too, our newspaper today, this is from today. They're talking about Trump. I told you how to write Trump in Japanese, right? Trump. Trump, desire or ambition, ambitious. Alliance, upset. Trump is so ambitious that allies are upset. China, caution against China, Russia, and Greenland occupy. Want to have Greenland. They explain like, oh, Greenland. Do you see the clip mark? They often have this to explain what it's about. Like, oh, Greenland. It's the biggest island in the world. Oh, their land size is 6 times as big as Japan? What? 80% of the island is covered with ice. That's a lot of ice. And population, that's like the same as my subscribers on this channel. Like, that's interesting. Inuit is the dominant people. Huh. That's interesting. And then they're talking about Canada, Panama, what's the word? Target. Yep. So I told you, I posted the picture of how this this is my dog. This black thing is my dog. And then Trump, right? He's on TV, but they're talking about his claims. So it's a big deal for us too, because we are a close ally of America. Oh, more tax in California? Huh. Interesting. My friend will be staying with me because their family lost everything in fires. Oh, really? The fire insurance got canceled, so notice and no notice. And California government is already offering you to buy their land for 10% value. That's freaking messed up. That is, I can't imagine that happening here in Japan. I guess partially because we are so used to natural disasters, because earthquakes happen all the time. So and we are like, oh, we could be next. And we are nice. That's why we are nice to each other. Help each other out. And also, I heard about the looting and so on too in America, like it was on the news. The one that I shared on X seems to be false. Somebody pointed out that, oh, it's like, be careful, like it's not, everything is not true, on social media, but looting is happening, according to Fox News at least. I saw that earlier. And in Japan, we are proud that it doesn't happen yet, but it seems to happen by foreigners because their cultural background is different from us, right? So that made me think like, oh, if we live with foreigners, like foreigners meaning people with different values or cultural backgrounds, then it can be a problem in like when disasters hit. And even without natural disasters, foreigners are stealing our things, like our farmers' products, right before they were about to, what's the word, get the things, after they have grown. But right before that, like those foreigners come and take everything, right? And like they basically sell that online or sell somewhere else to get money, and it's not for their own. Sometimes like Vietnamese and so on kill our animals, like somebody's animal, and eat it because that's what they do back home. But that has happened, and yeah. And lately, our resources, like the wires and so on, that are in use, they cut it out and so on and sell. Like, why do you have to do that, right? I'm like, it's like a job, like basically. Like stealing is easy, right? But like if you want to steal some products or some wires that are in use, you have to actually do the physical work to get it, and then you have to sell it. Like that's such a process. So I'm like, why don't you get a job? What was that? No, why don't you get a job? Say no way, electorate, yes, that's the word. Highest tax, okay. Yeah, it's weird how insurance companies just canceled. Was it before the fires? Was the fire actually natural? Is it possible that it was somebody made a fire? Like, is it wildfires? Like, do you know exactly? Hi Yoko, hello. Thanks for coming. Did you hear my song? I made a song. I'm a musician, I'm a political commentator, I'm an activist, journalist, and gamer, and everything. I want to be a gamer, but what I noticed though, in this generation, gaming is such a luxury. Like in the past, it was kind of a little expensive, but not that expensive. Today, if you want to play some game on computer, then you have to have a good computer, and then you have to buy the software, and then you need to have the time to actually play it. I don't have those. I wish I did. If you guys make me famous, then I can. This is talking about Japan, China network, basically, like connection. So they are training people to, I guess, be the pipe, to be the bridge between Japan and China. Japan, LDP, governing party, and Komeito, another party in coalition. They are visiting China tomorrow, really? I didn't know that. So from the 13th, so tomorrow on Monday, so the coalition, like LDP and Komeito, National Diet members, like parliament members, will visit Beijing, and they will have meetings, like interactions with like top executives of CCP until the 15th. That's interesting. Oh, super chat, wait for me. It's like, so even though there are improvements in our relation with China, Japanese sea products were like banned by China, and so there are a lot of things to solve, a lot of problems to solve in between. This reminds me. Oh, but before that, let's look at that super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't have time for a lot of modern games. That's why I mostly just play old Atari and Sega stuff. Oh, really? Oh, right. You are busy working all the time. Like I'm, like I don't see you as much lately. You seem very busy. But thank you for coming. That's why I'm listening. Yeah. Like modern games are so complicated too. Like remember when like Mario was so easy, right? Like it was easy to understand, easy to play, difficult enough but not too not too easy but easy enough, and yeah, that's good. But yeah, thank you for your super chat. Okay. I really appreciate it because it's the late time and people are not much watching. But I wanted to talk about something. Oh yeah, so sea products in Japan. So because of our disaster in 2011, you know, the Fukushima disaster, because of that, our reputation went bad. Even Taiwan, I think, were not getting our products too, even though they are pro-Japan. But after proving to the world, like IEA, was it? And so on, like international organizations that and experts, you know, that our water is safe enough to release in the ocean, you know, like our allies and so on, like they didn't see any problems and they were okay with it. But China somehow still like they had issues with us. And there was this expert looking into it and explained that behind Xi Jinping's action, like banning our sea products, there is his effort to make the environmental problems in China better. And allegedly he has worked to solve the environmental issues inside China, which I doubt, but it's just what he's doing. He is making it seem like he's doing, at least. That's his presentation. So in order to be coherent, he has to attack Japan, right? Like, even though it's tested and it's good enough, but he's promoting all this like, oh, environmental issues, like we have to solve it. He's doing it and it's supposed to be effective. And so he's doing that, pushing that. And when he sees Japan with that mindset, it's like a problem and he wants to attack, to appeal to the people too, I think. So that was interesting. Because when I look at China, you know, in pictures and so on too, though, but it doesn't seem very clean. And Chinese tourists, they're not educated enough and they just leave garbage and trash behind. Like a lot of them do that. And it's often said too that after they use our hotel rooms, it's like an aftermath of a storm. That's the rumor. So I don't know. And it probably depends on each person or family members. But yeah, they don't have a good reputation. So like when I hear like, oh, really? Like China? And also China, when you picture China, it's gigantic. It's so huge. And so that includes like big cities like Beijing and so on, and the forest and the farmers. So like I bet that the economic gap is so big, and also like outside maybe a certain area of China is clean. They could be, because they have all this surveillance and they have dictatorship system basically, so like from top down. So I know that they can fix things quickly. However, I don't think that they are doing it in the whole, like entire land. But I don't know. I want to know. Oh yeah, by the way, our current prime minister's wife, what's her name? これ石破さんの奥さんってなんていうものか、よしこ、かこ、よしこ。My husband doesn't know how to read her name, but our prime minister's wife, basically we don't have like first lady culture because we have Tenno family, like imperial family, right? But on a political level, there's his wife, and his wife joined him in diplomacy in Indonesia. My husband doesn't care about her name. That's a problematic comment politically. But yeah, so his wife, Ishiba, is really dim, dark, bad at communications, but his wife is a charming person. Like same as Abe too. Abe's wife is so like friendly to everyone, even with leftists. She hangs out. Like she has the capacity and tolerance. And this lady too, Ishiba's wife, is really, really friendly and like social, you know. But that's often the combination in Japan. I think that guys here tend to be like serious and not really fun. But, you know, their wives are usually like uplifting and funny and social and so on. Kind of like me and my husband, maybe. Who knows? Advertisement. Want to say something to 70s and 80s? Oh, what is this? Doesn't make sense. Some health stuff. A lot of advertisement on our newspaper is targeted to senior, elderly people, because it's only elderly people that read newspaper. So yeah, that's about it, I guess. Ooh, what is this? South Korea. South Korea is still fighting. So this is South Korea. The president, Keigocho. How do you say that? GERD? I don't know that term. So they are basically protecting the president, I guess, like pro-Yoon people in South Korea. They are trying to protect the president, and there are like other parts. Why is it like police people? What is it? They're trying to catch him. So yeah. A lot of things happening. Oh, Chinese foreign minister visiting Africa, of course. Oh, but Trump in mind to counter Trump. Yeah, Trump is really good, but at the same time, in political dynamics, what happens is that you push the countries like China and Russia and so on to the other side, right? Like if you attack them so much, then they have to counter that. And in order to do that, they go to other countries to take them in and so on, which is a bad situation for you. So politics is very difficult. But at least Trump is unique and a little different from Biden, for example. Democrats leaders are usually like they just fight. But Trump is very friendly to even to dictators. So it can be good and bad. But yeah. Anyway, I'm talking a lot. gaming is cheap nowadays because there are so many cheap old games. PC gaming of modern times do not have physical release anymore, so you do not really own games anymore. Or that's true, like softwares. And it's so, like, when I first played, like, it was Apex. Like, I was playing Apex Mobile when it was still a thing. I think they stopped the service, but when I was playing Apex Mobile, I wanted to try the real Apex, and I just downloaded that. And when I downloaded that, they give you updates too. But it was so weird because I didn't know that culture in gaming. Like today's modern technology, I didn't know that because I only got interested in gaming after COVID hit. Because after the COVID-19, what's the word? Pandemic. Like people were stuck home, and I thought at the time, like, oh, maybe it will last for a while, so I should do something else to like change the environment, to make sure that I can do a lot of different things for what could happen. And but like I thought that you are supposed to, get it, like install it from like a DVD or something. How are you, Yoko? I'm good. I'm getting better now that I'm talking to you guys. I was in severe pain earlier, stomach ache, but but I'm realizing I learned that. So I have ulcerative colitis, but I noticed the pattern finally. When my condition gets worse, like people tell me like, it's your food, blah, blah, blah. For me, it's like ulcerative colitis is similar to depression. Like depression, when you talk about depression, oh, it's the way you think. Or some people might say, oh, it's your food. Like it's a complex thing. And you can't figure out what it is. And that's why people say like, oh, it's incurable and so on. But anyway, my ulcerative colitis thing is that when I stay up late until like 5 or so, it gets worsened. And or if the weather change quickly, like from sunny day to all of a sudden like really heavy rain, I can't keep up, and it gets worse. And when it's too cold, like it's been snowing lately in the past 2 days, I think it did. Today's good, and then I'm like, my body can't just handle it. And so that's when my condition gets worse. At least now I am learning the pattern in me, so that's good. But yep. China release 3 to 5 times more of the same nuclear wastewater on a monthly basis. Wow, yeah. They say that they're fixing the environmental issues, but no. Yeah. Like people here, actually, like when it comes to food, a lot of people do not buy products from China. Like there are many people, of course, that don't care, but those who have like high conscious or I don't know how to say that, like, like highly aware people of like health and so on, we don't buy Chinese stuff because who knows what kind of chemical could be contained in that. So but man, a lot of problems though. I heard there are a lot of political parties now in Japan. And this one party, Sanseito, for example, they focus on globalism, the problem of globalism. And I know I'm not entirely against globalism, but this local politician that I listened to a while ago, at least he was making sense. That, like, because he had a guest speaker at the event that he held, and the guest speaker was talking about how Japan is capable of producing things, but our pay is much, like, if you pay people here to do the job, then you have to pay a lot. So for cheap labor, often in order to create a product, you order that in China or elsewhere, get it done cheap, but while the process you give them the technology and so on, or the, how to do that. Oh, Supacha, wait for me. Wait. So then they come back to Japan. But what are you doing? Because you are giving the money and technology to another country and it comes back, but basically you're paying them. So as a result, are you getting prosper? And that was a point that the guy was making, and I thought it was a good point. Oh, super chat! A lot of super chat, thank you. Hi, Yoko. I read another story today about American soldier raping a Japanese girl in Okinawa. Oh, is it a recent case? I didn't know that. This makes me so mad. Does Japan news ever cover this ongoing problem? It makes me ashamed as an American. Oh, thank you so much for your concern. We are used to it though, to be honest. At least I am. Just happens. And one friend, he was mixed, like he was half Japanese. This guy I used to talk to, he had his unique way of seeing things. Sometimes it was spot on, other times it was cringe, but at least like he was telling me something. His input to me was that in the army, often like the America send like criminals and so on, like prisoners into army, and that they are sent here and so on. I don't know if it's true. Like the guy was saying stuff like that. But yeah, so after hearing that, I'm like, could be like many level of people, included. So I don't know. But yeah, crimes happen. I don't know why though. Like I don't know how the army military is structured, so I can't really comment on that. But it happens sometimes. But so do other crimes happen in Japan too. So yeah, like this Korean girl, for example, in university the other day, just yesterday, I think, she was mad. She's 22 years old, and she was so mad that her classmates were ignoring her. So she carried around a hammer in her jacket since the morning, and then she hit her classmates, injuring like 8 people, I think. So that's a Korean nationality. So even though Koreans especially are soaked into our culture, there are some people don't like them being here. Like it's a harsh truth, right? But and also like I don't know her background. Maybe she was a foreign student. Like I don't know the background, but it happens. So and Chinese people, what happens among the Chinese community often is that they kill each other in Japan. So that's a weird case. But yeah, I hear stories like that sometimes. So like those crimes happen. So when there's a big group of people, even in military, I think that there are a certain number of people that commit crimes. Like even Japanese self-defense forces, there are sometimes weird cases. Oh yeah, actually self-defense forces people, like in my neighborhood too, there's a base nearby. Like they get caught for sexual crimes and so on. So it does happen. Like we are all humans. So yeah, but thank you so much for your concern though. Like when we look at Americans, we basically think of Americans as people who are living in this developed country and that our country is dependent on America. So the picture that we have of America is way advanced and, strong and big and all the good things, basically. It's only recently that we are learning about the Democrat side of America. We didn't really care about Americans on the right side, left side. Like we used to look at America, like as a nation, like a big just country, one group of people. But today we are learning, so yeah, it can vary though, depending on the topic. But thank you so much. Bird Up, thank you for another super chat. I don't know what the food situation is like in Japan, but in America, a lot of our health problems can be traced back to certain foods or the ingredients or chemicals that they contain. Oh yeah. You know what's interesting about that is that a lot of Westerners, like Americans, talk about the processed food, for example. And this guy was recently saying, like, on X, like I think I replied to him, but it was kind of going viral on X. But basically the guy was saying that eat like Japanese people, because Japanese people do not eat processed food like Americans or something. We focus on real foods, but we have a lot of technology, like good technology. It's really advanced in foods especially. So freezing, by the way, freezing technology is a new thing that we are enjoying. But yeah, we have a lot of processed food in Japan as well. But the difference that I see though from America is the standards. Like you said, that you wrote, where was the super chat? Oh, a lot of comments. Yeah, like some ingredients or chemicals. So exactly, the standards are different. Even like hair products, for example, that's easier. That's a better example. When I went to a beauty salon a while ago, I was talking to the hairdresser, and I told him about my dad. My dad is losing hair, right? He's really old. So yeah. And he was using the product to, get his hair back, right? Basically. And he bought it at the drugstore, and he was doing it, like, putting things on his head. And I don't see any improvement, and I felt bad for him. And I asked my hairdresser guy, like, what should he what should he do? What's the solution for his problem? Because does the products sold in drugstores work for hair? And his reply was that probably not. And then what he said next was that, but if he try a product from America, then it might work. It will probably work, but there's also a risk that he could go bald too, though. So you have to, choose a good product to make sure you don't want to do the opposite thing. But basically, his point was that because, like, even the bleaching, like hair bleach, if you do that in Japan, it doesn't work much because it doesn't have enough chemicals. But in America, the standards are different, and it's really strong. And same for medicines too. I think that you guys just have a bad sorry, I have to call it bad, but bad standards in things. Like you talk about, yes, processed food in Japan and in America. It seems like it's the same thing. You're talking about the same things, but actually referring to different things because the standards are different. So we are talking about different things. You know what I mean? It's not the same. The premise is different. The premise is different. So, yeah. And did I tell you my story with chocolate in America when I visited America for the first time when I was 19 years old? I I was addicted to chocolate at the time, like a cacao. I just had to have it. I guess that I needed some, I don't know, some nutrition. And I was craving for chocolate all the time. And then I went to America and like I had chocolate with me, like Japanese chocolate with me, but I wanted to try American chocolate too. And I bought it at 7-Eleven or something. And then I ate it and it was like, bleh. I was like, instantly, I was bleh. Because it's just sugar. Just sugar, just lump of sugar. And I'm like, this is not chocolate. Like I was craving for chocolate. The entire state in America, they are selling chocolate, but they're not chocolate, man. It's just sugar. So, yeah, it's not really about the kinds. Like how you make it is very important. Yeah. Anyway, senpai noticed me or else. Wait, what are you talking about? Oh, speaking of senpai, Trump senpai is having his inauguration soon, right? Wait, what day is today? In 8 days? Yeah. So, wait. That's like I do a live stream next week, and then the following day I have to do another because it's the inauguration time. But from Japan, there are some people that are attending the inauguration. Huh? Iwaya, yeah. Our foreign minister Iwaya is joining, and basically, I read the news and it was saying how he wants to, go there and just be there to prepare for the meeting of Ishiba and Trump. I want just meet him, right? But yeah, like a lot of preparations going on. But Iwaya, he's criticized, bashed often by conservatives or right wings in Japan, claiming that he is pro-China. Was he the guy that あれが賄賂もらった噂は岩屋さんやったっけ？もらってんの。それが賄賂かどうかは認定された。So he received. Iwaya, our foreign minister, received money from China, 100 万? Chinese company, not the government, Chinese company, from the Chinese company. Iwaya, our foreign minister, received money back in the day. Like several years ago, it came to the light and it was reported on the news. And so he received the money from Chinese company, like 1 million yen or so. But we don't know if it was bribery or not. But yeah, but that's the ties that he has basically. And we can see that. So the conservative people are bashing him for being pro-China. But yeah, he's gonna visit and attend the inauguration of Trump. And our member of House of Councilor, Satsuki Katayama, it's a she, female. I think she has experienced a minister, like a veteran woman, and she's gonna participate in the inauguration because she's friends with Bill Hagerty, former ambassador to Japan. And then I also saw Mr. Tachibana from, what is his party now? He changes his party often, so I don't know where he ended up today. But yeah, he's gonna go to, I think. Let me check. Like Tachibana is the guy that did like, let's destroy NHK. That guy. He's following me on X. Wait, maybe I should. Hold on a minute. He was Oh God. Trump. Oh yeah, this one. So he's arranging, Tachibana is arranging to participate in the inauguration. James Mike Johnson, oh, he's a chairman, invited him. That's interesting. Oh, so basically Tachibana wrote on January 8th, like, oh, I want to go to inauguration, Trump inauguration. And then he got invited. No, this me, Trump said bye. Why not me? I've been following Trump for years, like before anybody else in Japan. There were a few people connected to America that kind of saw it coming, but I was the first in Japan ever to write about him, like Trump train and Trump phenomenon. Basically, it was coming, like he was gonna win. I wrote that for a magazine, like publicly. It's a good magazine, in Japan, like very high level. And I got to write it because it was important. And yeah, Japanese people started to like Trump only after Shinzo Abe visited Trump in November, after he got elected in the same year. And then their bond became close. And then Japanese people, since they liked Shinzo Abe so much, his friend, good friend, must be good, right? For them. So then they started to understand what Trump is doing and started to like him. And they're basically copying me too. Even the political activists, they do like pro-Trump stuff. I was doing it first, and they're copying it. And they get famous, and I don't. Weird. That's a life pattern of me, though. I'm just way ahead in time usually. So, It's Just Sugar is pretty apt description of a lot of food. It took forever to be able to join your stream. Oh, really? Yes, it's Just Sugar. Hello from Las Vegas. Hello. Are you safe, Las Vegas? Is Las Vegas is where? Is it Nevada? I'm not so familiar with American geography. LA is Los Angeles. This is Las Vegas. Okay. I need an American map. I want an American map. Like the map that we can get is Japan in center and the world, And of course in your country it's different, right? So I want that. And also I want to learn all the states in America because I know some, but I'm like, what's in the middle? I gotta be honest. Like, I know, like, Washington D.C., New York, or even Maryland or Kentucky and North Carolina, South Carolina, and on this west side, like California, Oregon, and Nevada, Arizona, and that sort of stuff. Or what else? Or up there, Illinois. Like, I know states, but in the middle, in the center. Like, it gets so confusing. I know a lot of state names, but I don't know if I can say everything. Starts with Arkansas. How do you pronounce that in English? Arkansas. I remember it's different from Japanese. Arkansas. I want to know the pronunciation. Wait. Give me the pronunciation. This.
Arkansas.
Arkansas. Oh, it's the same. Okay. Arkansas. The saw. I see. Arkansas. Maryland, Virginia, Washington, D.C. is where? Where is Washington, D.C.? It's not, it's a place, right? Just a place. I'm so stupid sometimes. Like, because you don't think about things in detail, like, to get a, is it capital, right? Capital, where's the capital? Bordering the states of Maryland and Virginia. Where does it belong to? I never thought of that for some reason. Is it Washington? But anyway, Minnesota, North Carolina, South Carolina, Kentucky, Minnesota, Colorado, Texas, Arizona, California, Oregon, Illinois. It's so weird because when you look at the news, like you can tell, like, oh yeah, that state. Like you know of the state. Ohio! Ohio, don't forget Ohio. Yeah. New Jersey? Man, I don't know. DC is a patch of land in between Maryland and Virginia. It's technically not part of structurally or legally part of the USA. Oh, I see. You should make a one with a map. I should test myself, like, draw an American map, like, this states, like, you know, all the states. Most Americans cannot name all the states, really? That's relieving. If Yoko gets the PO box, she will get several maps. That would be cool. Hey Yoko, I just stopped by to say hello and just it was cool seeing you again. Thank you, Raiden-san. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have you seen Saw? No. Too scary for me. Oh, Oklahoma. Montana. Yes, South Dakota. South Dakota is like, I don't know. South Dakota doesn't have any impression on me. I know the name, but yeah. South Dakota. What's available in South Dakota? Our education system leaves much to desire. Oh, Hawaii! Yeah. Hawaii is a state, right? Japan attacked the island chain before. Island chain? I'm waiting to send my bag of yen. Really? New Hampshire. Oh, yeah. I didn't know that saying state names can be this fun. I never expected that. Yeah. I've been to Virginia and California. Both times I went to see a guy. So I was young. Did I tell you? When I went to California, though, it was to meet a Mexican guy. He was a Mexican, a legal Mexican. He was emphasizing that. He immigrated to America when he was 7. So, yep. It's kind of weird when you think about it. Like I had an online crush to a Mexican guy because he was a good guitarist. So yeah, it was my taste in men back when I was until like 25 years old or so. The list of the guys that I liked was like, of course, handsome, tall, and white teeth, good at instruments, good at singing, smart, funny, kind of rich, and all this list. So silly. Like I had to, like it was like a checklist for me. And every time I met a guy, I was like, can he play instruments? Oh, and English, can he speak English? Like I have all this list, and I use it like like a checklist. It was so stupid. Now come to think of it, but still, like those, I see people on X that have checklists in opposite sex to date and so on. It's so stupid. It's a problem of ego. So, yeah. Like my husband doesn't fit the list at all. None of it. A little bit taller than me, but yeah. Anyway. Anything else to talk about here? Not much, I guess. That's interesting. This is so our newspapers often recommend books to read. This just caught my eyes. FBI. Does this say the real name? The Bomb Doctor. A scientist's story of bombers, Beakers and Blue Hunt. I can't. Kirk Yeager. Celine Yeager. All right. Anyway. Oh, I've been speaking for over an hour. Rest in peace, Yoko no Tanda-san. Yeah, don't tell him. I kind of have told him that. Washington, Alaska, right? California, Hawaii, Oregon, Idaho, potato. Yeah. Nevada, Utah. I've dated a guy from Utah. And then also I've met guys here in Japan from Utah as well. They were Mormons. And they were so desperately trying to recruit me for their religion. I went to their church, and it was like they're trying to, like it was, they were young, like missionaries, you know. There are a lot of missionaries here in Japan. And they were missionaries, very, like, you know, adorable guys, you know. And I went there to, they offered, like, when I was working at the musical, like, instrument store, like, I had a part-time job when I was, like right after I graduated from university, somehow. And these guys came, and they were apparently foreigners, so I went to talk to them. And then they offered me a English lesson opportunity at their church. I loved English at the time already, so I went there. And then we did have some English class at the church. And then the later half, I was taken to another room, and I had to see the tape of their religion. And then we talked about afterlife. Like, Yoko, what do you think the afterlife is like? Do you believe in afterlife? And then at the time, I was not politically active, and I didn't know things like I didn't know the world at all. I didn't know who I am or where I come from. So I just debated. Good memory. But anyway, Was he a Mormon? Yes. But the guy that I dated, though, he was not. I don't think he was. I have no social skills in real life. All my old friends moved away. No idea how to find new friends. Last girlfriend was almost 9 years ago. Oh no, you gotta do something. Like join some kind of activity. My husband and I, we met in the political circle. Locally, there are a lot of people that have political events. So yeah, I kept seeing him. And then he became my mentor. You've dated Mormon girls? Wow. But those who have faith are good people though, like good-hearted people. And I was thinking that like they can be very pushy of their faith. So that's why I didn't have a good impression of them before. But today, after seeing how Democrats are, I'm realizing that like those people with faith, whether it's Christianity or Mormon or whatever, it's way better. Like I resonate with those people, but not Democrats. I love Mormons, great people, but silly beliefs. The funny thing is missionaries are young men, but their title displayed on their clothes is elder. Really? That's interesting. Mormons are nice though. They help me move furniture into my U-Haul. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they were really nice and very happy and like very positive. Yeah. Like they just wanted to be good, and that mentality is what's missing in the world today. So, yeah. There are many Japanese who live in Hawaii. Yeah. And many Japanese people want to get married in Hawaii, like a church in Hawaii. So when I was young, I didn't want to get married, or like I didn't want to have a wedding, especially. I didn't care about weddings because the image of wedding in Japan is inspired by Hollywood. And when I picture myself like that, like in Hollywood movie, I get embarrassed. Like I can't do that. Like I don't have self-esteem enough to do that. Like I'm a tomboy, like in my heart still. So like, it's really a big no, like wearing that sort of dress and so on. Like all in white and also like very vulnerable. I'm like, So I'm like, I kept saying no to weddings, and I also didn't like the idea of having kids. What happens to liberalism, really? Like, I know how liberals are because I used to be a moderate one, all the beliefs that I was taught when I was young was liberal ideas. So yeah, I was leaning towards that. And then I didn't like the concept of wedding because of that. And then I got interested in politics, and then I encountered Shinto and officially, right? So then I realized that our traditional weddings are done at shrines. So I just did it at a shrine. Like, I like kimono. It looks so super cool. And a lot of our deep culture is expressed in that material and everything, how we wear them. And it's such a deep culture. And I was like honored, to be able to wear that. Like it was a rental stuff, like I couldn't afford it. So we just rented, but it was good enough. Like we tried different, different things, and yeah, it was really good. And then I was really happily married on the shrine. Yeah. Super chat. Did I miss your super chat? Oh, John-san, thank you, super chat. It means a lot to me. Oh, Bird. Oh, yeah. Yo, tax. Did you guys listen to my song? バードアップさんがねずっと韻踏んでくるX のさリプライでさなんかそれが違うあれYouTube のコメントだっけなんかスタックってわかるスタックとかヘッドとかってこのタクって言って面白いYes. By the way, when I speak in Japanese, it's in dialect, Fukuoka dialect. So, yeah. I have such a heavy dialect, but I can speak like a Tokyo person. So that's why people don't even think that I'm from here, Fukuoka. But thank you so much for super chat. This channel is largely brought to you by Bird Up. Thank you. But anything else? If no more super chat, I should end this stream. I thought kimonos were just for formal traditional clothing of Japan. There are no rules though. It's what we used to wear. But lately, yeah, basically, I guess we have the concept of like a hare. Like, it's so hard to explain that in English. Like, we have the culture of hare and ke. And hare is like, it sounds like sunny. Like when you say sunny outside, it's hare too. But hare is good fortune, official, ceremonial type of days that where you are supposed to be happy, celebrating, and that sort of things. Hare. So New Year's days for Japan, it's hare, the days of hare. Like, sparkly, like, happy, official, ceremonial days, hare. So on occasions like that, you know, like weddings or some kind of ceremony like graduation and so on, we wear kimono to express that. Would you be interested in talking with another Japanese YouTuber who is a Brit living in Tokyo who loves Trump? There's a guy like that. That's super interesting. Yeah. I would be happy to talk to like-minded people. Especially if they have like a understanding in Japan and Japanese culture, then the conversation becomes interesting for me. So I like talking to foreigners here. Yeah. But if he's a British person, I might not understand his accent. I understand American English well, but British English is difficult for me. I have no knowledge, so. I bet she might do a collaboration if it makes sense and works. Yeah. Yes. But right now, though, I don't have a computer. Like, I do have a laptop here, but, just back in the day, I was using this laptop. But I don't know if you remember the times, like my live stream would be cut off and it would stop and I would have to redo it again and so on. And if I was using like StreamYard, for example, like I could go back to the same stream, but I stopped paying for the service because it's expensive, and the more you use, you have to pay more. So it's ridiculous. So I stopped that. I should try other services though. Yeah, I gotta test some things, I guess. I'm using my iPad. Yep. We have lots of accents. Yeah. British. 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 Give me a British sentence. I want to read that. Do you remember the bad streamer Johnny Somali? Oh yeah. He will get punished in South Korea a lot. Yeah. It's like, I didn't know the South Korean people can be that like harsh, like kind of, I don't know how to express that. Yeah, like very strong. So much like really different from Japan. You can't understand any English? No, there was this heavy accent. There's this guy, Daijiro, a Japanese guy, Daijiro, who is really obsessed with pronunciation in English or languages in general. And he was covering this extreme accent. I couldn't get anything. Yoko-san, will Prime Minister Ishiba get ousted? Not sure. Maybe in April. No. 石破はどうなると思う? My husband says,
5月、6月に辞めざるを得なくなるんじゃないかと思うけど。
My husband's forecast is in May or June, he might have to resign. However, the opposite, what's the word? Opposition party don't want him to quit? Why? Oh, because opposition party coalition believes that if Ishiba remains in power as a prime minister, then there are more chance for them to win against him than any leader that's better. That's a good point. In Japan, we have a national election in July. 参議院選? House of Councillor election in July. So before that, so the turning point is whether to change the leader of LDP before the House of Councillor election in July. So that's why I keep saying like spring. So it could be April to June, I guess. Yeah, because they have to discuss the national budget, Ishiba won't be ignored. Yeah, like they have to decide the budget for the next year, annual year. Like, yeah, for Japanese budget is made from April to March. That's our year. We graduate in March too. Graduate in March and get back in April. So like that's our year. Yeah, ありがとう。どういたしまして。Have you seen the Japanese Trump chore? What is chore? Chore? Maybe I know that guy. 何? でもこれ何? Core. 合唱? Choir? I was thinking of something else. What is that? Oh yeah, fiscal year. Yes. What is Trump choir? You mean the religious group that is supporting Trump? I was in Texas and I couldn't barely understand him. Who? Took me a bit to figure out. Maybe people in big Japanese cities like Tokyo or Osaka, etc., can create an international Trump fan club. I mean, conservative people in general love Trump. Now, like because we lost Shinzo Abe, it's scattered around. Like our passion is scattered around, and Trump is ideal because he's like outspoken. Outspoken. Like, he states clearly what he wants. He's very blunt. That's the opposite of our politicians in Japan, because our politicians don't want to cause any troubles. It's a cultural thing. We don't want to cause any troubles. We want to arrange things behind the scenes. We want to be friendly to everybody. It's just our culture. But Trump does it differently, right? And Japanese people, because our politicians are like that, we have a lot of problems and we cannot solve problems because we don't want to cause trouble. We don't want to stand up to our opponents. So Takaichi-san, is she good? Yes, very good. But she's a lone wolf type of person, so she's working on it. She's getting better at communications inside the party, but she just tries to do everything by her own. It's great, but it's not efficient and it's not what a leader should do. So like many people around her are telling to work together as a team, But yeah, but her expertise, in national security, national security, it's a national economic security, and so on, are really high level, and she can design our country better. So definitely a good leader, but at the same time, many people are kind of skeptical of what she might do. It's great that Takaichi-san could be like Trump. She states her opinion very clearly, and she doesn't fear anything. But that can be a problem in Japanese politics, like also inside, but also for example, with China or South Korea, for example. Even though you should stand up to those countries, it doesn't mean that you should make them your enemies, Like, I'm a political activist, and that's why I state my opinions like, China is our enemy. I say that. But because I'm not a politician, But politicians, like diplomats, like they are supposed to build connections and find a way to work together, right? So you don't want to agitate them. You shouldn't just ignore problems, but at least like you have to be nice about it, right? But Miss Takaichi, we don't know what kind of diplomacy she would do, and she clearly said that she would visit Yasukuni Shrine, which is like mentally, I think it's like our Arlington Cemetery in the U.S., where those who have dedicated their lives to your country are there, right? And over here in Japan, Yasukuni Shrine is like that. Even though it's not a grave, it's kind of like that. And because China and some South Koreans get angry at our people visiting our heroes, they are angry. They have the narrative that Japan is a war criminal. Yeah. They just justify that narrative all the time. They just want to call us criminal all the time. So when our leaders visit our shrine, Yasukuni Shrine, then it's like I guess they want to say that to them, our heroes are like terrorists, basically, in a bad, the scale of bad, is like terrorist level, I guess. So they get angry. And then so if Takaichi visit Yasukuni, then they're gonna get angry too. And South Koreans, even though right now after Yoon administration, Japan South Korea relation is really good, but that could trigger, visiting the shrine could trigger, and it might not have to be right now to visit the shrine, but it kind of depends on how South Koreans are. But yeah. So aside from that, though, she's good. Just some diplomatic concerns like that. They urinate on the shrine, yeah. Yes, and graffiti and so on too. Like Chinese people do that too, so. Oh, somebody's going to sleep. John is going to sleep. It's very late in Las Vegas. Thank you for your thought tonight. Thank you for joining me. I know it's late there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a good night. Why don't you join Shinzo Abe faction of LDP? Factions are all resolved in LDP. Dissolved. So there's no faction anymore. Oh, only Aso faction exists. But just because factions are dissolved, it doesn't mean that their relations inside are ended. You know, it's not like that. But yeah, my husband and I, we have a unique stance. Like, we don't belong to any political party anymore. Like, we were pushing this truly conservative party before, but our people didn't understand it and just attacked it, because back then we had Shinzo Abe as our prime minister, so whoever was threatening him were bad for those supporters of him. But anyway, so after that, we kind of shifted our focus to other things, and we rather focus on what we can do politically. Like, we have some requests to our National Diet members, so we rather focus on that. And in order to do that, like, sometimes we have an event with the help of National Diet members, like parliament members. So when we do that, we have to be equal to all the parties. We can't only support LDP, because then opposite party people would get angry or not comfortable with us, with working with us. So yeah. Aso-san is such a gangster. Yeah. Was he forced to resign? Kind of. The media was attacking him like as that he cannot read kanji. The Japanese character, the complex one. Yeah, he actually couldn't. But like, the media just bullied him so much because he's close to Abe. They bullied Abe, the first Abe cabinet too. Just like the leftists in America are attacking Trump, just like that. Like, they attacked Abe enough to make him resign, and also same way, they just bullied. And I feel the sense that, yeah, he was forced to resign. そう、漢字難しい。でも上手ですね。TPS さんは上手ですよ。Sunset is still decent? No. The leader picked fights with several conservatives a while back, yeah. Like, the leader has some issues, and their party seems to have, like, someone was, I'm not too familiar with that party because I don't really care, to be honest. But somebody was, like, how they run the party is not democracy, it seems. So, but yeah, they are bashed. Sanseto is bashed for, like, like, in order to expand their support range, they went for like health issues as well, and often it includes like fake news. So, or fake stories. So that is not accepted well in Japan. Anyway, oh, my pink, I'm so pinkness. My pink water just is back because I got a straw. Finally, I found a long enough straw. Reiwa Shinsengumi is the young people's party and they suck. Oh, actually, how I see it is that Reiwa is the younger version of Japanese Communist Party. Basically, they're just shifting. Japanese Communist Party, they are losing their seats, but Reiwa is gaining, and what they think about are very similar. Their policies or like their approaches, their standpoints are very similar. Extremely left. There are some differences too, but fundamentally the same, like same range of people, and so it's just regenerating. It's changing to the younger generation, but it's basically shifting to another party. New Zealand tried it and now they are doomed. Try what? Maybe Japan should start debates and avoid attacking the politicians. Just actively and passionately debate political positions. Yeah, like what Japan is missing, for example, is primarily elections. Some people say that we should do that. Because we see Americans doing it, primary elections, and they is it primary? No, what do you call it? Like before in order to pick your candidates, you have to have debates, right? We should do that too because our politicians cannot debate. Some people can really do well, but most are not good. They can't even do that. So it's like you have to train the politicians like that, right? So, primary, okay, thank you. Okay. Anyway, no more super chat. I gotta go. It's so cold. It's getting cold. My stomach ache will come back. Why is Japan opening up to Chinese tourists? Some say Japanese will pay for Chinese people's health care. Is it because Iwa was bribed Jack Ma? No, it doesn't have to do anything. It has nothing to do with Iwaya. But your quick shower, yay! Really? Hour? Oh, I have to cut something, it seems, for dinner. So I can't stay long. But thank you though for super chat. Let husband warm you. Yeah, he should. I always complain to him like, oh, you're supposed to warm me up. He just laughs. But yeah. Anyway, what was I reading? Chinese tourists. 中国人がなんか日本の保険をぶんどってるっていう話は何ですか？どう思いますか？
こっちに来てから、なんか病院に行って保険
もらうよね。But it's not really just Chinese though, it seems. Yeah. But as for Chinese tourists, like people talking about, it's not tourists, I guess it's, I don't know what kind of visa it is, but people are talking about like 10-year visa of Chinese people. But when I looked at the information from Japanese people, like those who are highly, like those who know policies well, they said that it doesn't really change anything. That the person can, the days that they can stay here in one time visit is pretty much the same. Yeah, I don't know. We're not really familiar with that sort of side of politics. Primary voters pick the candidates. Yay. わかりました。ありがとう。ありがとうございます。Before I go, have you heard that Assassin's Creed game go delayed till the 30th anniversary of a horrible event? Oh, the sarin事件. Yeah. Some people are saying that on that day, or like on bad days, games in the past have been released. But yeah, I don't know if I should look into it so deeply or it's just a coincidence. But yeah, but at least like consumers are aware of the problems of that, like Ubisoft, was it? So that's good, I think. That was far-fetched in my opinion. Yeah, 20th of March, yeah, I heard that too. I saw somebody talking about it. Hell finally tries to claim California. This world is truly healing. He will. I'm kind of lost with that. What you're saying there. Typically it's coincidence, yeah. They always said it'll burn up or fall into the ocean. What? That is horrible. Oh no. Oh, super chat, thank you. Domino Pizza offered to deliver new Assassin's Creed game in 30 minutes or less. What? Are you serious? Is it a real thing? I mean, they're good at delivery. Oh, sorry. My earphone. You saw that? What? Ubisoft is being disrespectful to Japanese history. Yeah. I mean, I guess we should get angry because it is disrespectful. Like, weren't they famous or known for making games based on history, like good, like correct history? But now they have fallen that low. Maybe we should just go really hard into that to protest. They were trolling Ubisoft. They posted it on X. PR stunt. Domino tweeted back at Ubisoft. It's a meme now. Huh. Interesting. Huh. I gotta check it out later. Because that's funny. Yeah. Man, American people are so, like, you guys have a good humor, the sense of humor. Japanese people have, but our humor comes from puns, basically. Puns or just satire. But Americans are just very flexible. Very flexible when it comes to humor. Yeah. Anyway, my husband is getting impatient, it seems. So, American joke. American joke. The real historical game is called Kingdom Come Deliverance. Man, I wish I could play games. I wish I were good at the controller, playing controller. I can only play mobile. There was a game that I wanted to play that was gonna be the release like in January. I don't know when it will come. It was about some survival and Only Human. I think it was called the Only Human, and they're releasing a mobile version soon, or maybe they have. But yeah. Cecile says miniseries The Copeful Files about a left freak out on YouTube. Interesting. Okay. Gotta go, guys. It's getting cold. Oh, I'm a summer person. I was born in summer, so I don't do well in winter. Yes. Okay. Anyway, I'll be posting on X, so you'll see me. And also, if you haven't, please check out my music. Okay. My music. I'm dancing. I found myself dancing like Trump. Like this is what I. Oh yes, please repost my music. Yeah. Maybe we can all sing together. Back, 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 back. It would be cool if Trump danced to it because the lyrics of the song actually kind of resonates with Trump because he was absent and now he's back. And yeah. And it's basically a positive song, you know, looking forward to the future, bright, warm, glowy future. So yeah, maybe I should make a video, like a meme, you know, using my song. But I can't sing clearly though, so what? Super chat, thank you. Oh, wait, I can't press hard. My hand is too cold. My hand is okay. This hand is cold. This is warmer. For you, heater, thank you. My heart is warm now. Thanks to your super chat, thank you. ありがとうございます。Thank you so much. It really means a lot to me. Thank you. いただきました。最後の最後にね。ありがとうございます。Okay, gotta go. You guys, be warm and sleep well, okay? Next time is 19th here, but yeah. Keep in touch on X, okay? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna miss you guys. Okay. Have a good day. Or no, night. Have a good night. Okay. Okay. Go. Yo. Yo. We'll warm up. Yes. Okay. Bye. Good.